Hello. I decided I would give it a go and try and do this live video. So I wanted to say a few words really about being a spiritualist, because that's what I am. And the problem I see at the moment is that people are getting very confused about what is a spiritualist and what isn't. Just because you're a medium or a psychic doesn't mean you're a spiritualist, because spiritualism is actually a religious belief system, and not everybody believes what we believe, but they can have associated practices. They can do psychic work, whatever else they want to do. Hi to everybody. I see you're actually watching. I was really nervous about doing this because, first of all, I don't know much about these newfangled technologies. But I thought if I just poke my finger where it says, we'll have a go. And I don't know how long it lasts for. But I just wanted to talk about being a spiritualist. And there are thousands of us in the UK and, of course, in the Commonwealth, and millions in the USA where it all started. And basically, spiritualism is a belief based on knowledge. And it's not just blind faith. And it accepts a simple precept that we're all spirit here and now, clothed in a physical body, and we live on when we pass over and cast off this physical body into a world of spirit, and for which we are suited at that time. And so passing over isn't really a problem. It's what you do with your time down here that is often a problem to all of us. And of course, we rely on proving that that's a fact, that we do all live on after we die, by mediums. Mediums being the people who stand between this world and the next, like myself, who have developed that ability and tune ourselves to a higher frequency, and so that we can receive spirit input and relay that as messages to other people down here. Now, the problem at the moment is that, of course, there's no regulation whatsoever. With the abolition of the Fraudulent Mediums Act, it left us out on a limb, so to speak, and a lot of people said that this now came under the Trade Description Act. Well, I'm sorry, but spiritualism isn't a trade, it's a religion. And therefore Her Majesty's government said they were not interested in regulating mediumship anymore, because it came under religion and it was not their remit to have anything to do with religion. Well, be that as it may, all sorts of things have sprung up since then, and we have all the psychic phone lines and psychic mediums, and now, of course, with the new Facebook phenomena, we're all at it. We can all get on and give messages and do what we like. In fact, it was only about half an hour ago I saw somebody reading rune stones for various people, holding a rune stone up and then saying what it meant for that person. Well, that's fair enough, but it certainly ain't spiritualism. However, if that's what turns you on, that's fair enough. So once upon a time, of course, you had to get dressed and leave your home to receive messages from beyond, and now you can just sit in your chair and listen or not as you choose, at the touch of a button, or just wave a hand in front of your device, and you get somebody who hopefully is giving some information from the next world to this, or you may be more entertained by somebody reading cards, rune stones, or anything else. And of course, as a teaching medium, one of the things we have to teach is the difference between psychic and spiritual, and psychic work and mediumistic work. And of course, psychic work is where it emanates from your own sort of solar plexus, your sacral chakras. It's physical energy, and you're reading other people's physical energies. You can read people's auras if you train to do that, and you can see quite a lot of their history in that, and you can also therefore hazard a guess, if you like, about what's going to happen to them in the future. But unless you hear something like that from someone in spirit, like an actual person in spirit, don't believe what they're saying. Take it with a pinch of salt, please. Even runestones, cards, things like that. And you'll hear people say, oh, well, it's just a crutch, or I just use that to tune in. Well, tune in like that by all means. Let people know that you're working on a psychic level. And then when you do get a spirit contact, put the thing down, put the cards down, put the runestones down, anything else that you might have to have about you, the bones, put them down and listen to what is being said to you from someone on the other side. Speaking of which, the someone needs to identify themselves, because even 2,000 years ago, Paul was saying, discern the spirits, look out, see who it is who is actually speaking to you. He wasn't saying there is no such thing, by the way, but he was saying there can be impersonating spirit, there can be mischievous spirit, and I think we've all heard of people who have visited mediums and been told things that they would rather not know or hear, and very often they're not right either. And one has to say to people, look, there's a lot to learn about this way of life, and one of those things is to know who is speaking to spirit, what spirit they're speaking to, and to identify that source. That's very important. Well, I see that Sue Farrow is watching me. Oh, wow. Hello, Sue. And lots of other people, and Katie and everybody. Well, it says bring them on camera, but I don't think I should. I'll leave you, and Gary's saying hello. But I think really that I should leave you all anonymous to yourselves, and you only have to sort of look at me. And I wasn't sure if anybody would like to ask me a question. I believe you can sort of write a comment that I might be able to see. If not, I don't know. But perhaps if you would like to ask me a question or two, feel free. I answered questions for a company called Tiscali that became Talk many years ago, in the infancy of cyberspace messaging, the messaging service from above, if you like. And I answered 3 questions a week by email. I was sent them by email. I wrote back by email, and then they put them on their website, their portal, and people were happy to do that. I was happy to do it because nobody was charged any money to speak with me, as you are not now. And that makes me happy. But then after that, after about a few weeks of doing that, I realised that they had set up a bank of phone lines, and people were tuning in to speak to me ostensibly, and being redirected to phone these lines up. Well, I couldn't do anything about that by then, so I just kept on going, knowing happily that I wasn't getting money off them. The company itself was paying me, so I thought, well, that's fair enough. And I did it for about 3 or 4 years, after which time they carried on using me. I didn't realise that everything that they had, they were recycling. So poor people were, getting in touch and finding out that I wasn't actually there. But they were using my work nevertheless. So there you are, you see. It's not just the small fry that exploit people, it's the big guys as well. So here we are. I see Phil Smith. Oh, hello, yes. Oh, yes, about mediumship, yes. And Rose. Oh, yes, I know so many people. Hello, Candice. I know so many of you. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I forgive you in advance if you tune out as well. Because as Shirley Monaco said to me once, after 3 years listening to me at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church Circle, I should say, she sat in my circle for 3 years, and she's a very, very good medium, I must say. At the end of that time, when I was leaving, she said, "Oh, Lynn, we will miss you droning on and on." So I thought, well, that just about says it. Someone's asking me something. Oh, right, okay. can I see anything work-wise? Okay, well, what I have to do is actually tune in. Unfortunately, I've learned to do that rather rapidly these days, but of course you see I shut my eyes to do it, because you still have to do that, really. I see that there are, oh dear, now this is going to sound like a generalisation, but I assure you it isn't. I was given this vision. Okay, I could see a pathway. It looked like a tree laying down, you know, with all these different branches. And I think that there are a few pathways open to you, Gary, and whatever happens, you see, you'll go off on one and then you'll go off on another, but you will come back to the right path. That may not be absolutely helpful to you. On the other hand, it might be. So I'm being told here from my helper up here. She always pops in and helps, because I couldn't do anything on my own, believe me. I'd have to get out a pack of cards or a bundle of stones or something, never mind. But I certainly see some interesting things happening for you. So that is for sure anyway. So I hope that helps a bit, Gary. All right. Tell me if it doesn't, and I shall smack myself on the wrist. But my guides are always right. So if they show me that, then that's what's happening. So I can't tell you anything absolute in that sense, but certainly that is absolutely what I'm seeing. Right, so I don't know if anybody else would like to know anything. I can't see. There's so many people coming up. Hello, Jules. I see you. Famous in the Ely Standard today. I suppose what I'd like to say is that everybody has somebody who works with them from the spirit. Oh, Gary. Oh. Well, thank you for understanding what was being given. I'm sure, actually, speaking about that the tree is very influential in your life. And, of course, we talk about the tree of life, Yggdrasil, and I feel that you have a connection as well, of course. So you're well-rooted in the ground, so you stay well-rooted. Don't let it all float you off, you know. People can go off a bit. Yes, what I was saying there, everybody, yes, thank you. It's a good job that somebody over here can remind me of what I'm supposed to be talking about, because I would forget. But everybody has somebody in the world of spirit who looks after them. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the angelic beings with the wings, but certainly we have people in our background, in our family, who are still caring about us. And even if we didn't know them, you know, sometimes people say, oh, well, you know, it's no use telling me anything about my granddad, for instance, because I never knew him. But the fact is, he knew you and he knows you. So the point is that people who have been down on this earth before and who we're linked to biologically, very often are those who come close and look after us in our difficult times. And let's face it, everybody gets difficult times, and we could all do with a bit of sort of supernatural help, that I believe in. And so be assured that even if you don't know who it is, there is somebody there watching over you, that's for sure. Phil Smith, work-wise. That's interesting. I don't know what you do work-wise yourself, but I was being shown, when I asked my helper, I was being shown something being laid out. It looked like a bench, like a workbench or something. I wasn't sure what that was, but it looks as if you will get what you need. Sometimes we don't get what we want, but we do get what we need. And I feel that there is a need there. There's this draw towards you. And I feel also that there's somebody, you know, I was just talking about people who help us, who are in our family, and I do feel that there was somebody very hard working in your family who would never have had an idle moment, who draws very close at this time to help you, Phil. And with their help, you see, we can do anything. Lots of things happen, even when you've given up hope almost. So as I say that, because that's what my helper was saying, I presume that you got a bit cheesed off with things recently. But just know that something good is around the corner, because that's how keen they are to get you going. So I hope that that's helpful to you and makes you feel stronger in yourself and more positive about the future, because sometimes it seemed a bit dark to you. So there you are, without letting on anything too much, because we're in a public place here. There's me sitting at home here with me Christmas tree. Do you like that? All the little lights and things dangling off it. They're very tasteful, you know, but really we do need to get that positivity going in you. Phil, oh, there you go. Okay, oh, bless you. Well, you know, somebody's always moaning at me that I think I'm always right, but it isn't me, it's the people that work with me that are right, and ultimately God, you know, because we answer to the Great Spirit ultimately. So we have to do our best. And let's see. Oh, Rose, for my son's problem. Everything that I've talked about, Rose, is relevant to you and relevant for you, I know. All that power that you need, the prayer that you need, all those things are going on around you all the time. I know Gary, of course, bless him, and I know that he will be praying away for you, and I'm sure that things will resolve themselves very quickly. There you are. That's what I'm told. So even though it seems to have dragged on, and you haven't had any real answers yet about that, know that they are all... Gary will tell you that what I'm saying is correct. If he'll tune in himself, you know, to his guides, although it's a close one, he will get told that things are going to be resolved. So that will be good, won't it? That will be fine. Look forward to that. Look forward. You know, don't be downhearted. All right, Rose. God bless you. Oh, hi, Roy. Are you okay? Well, as okay as I'm ever going to be now. I'm not going to get better from old age, am I? Until afterwards, if you know what I mean. When I look forward to being young again. Oh, you'd love a reading. Oh, wow. Well, of course, I will have a quick ask for you. Things have been... Oh, right, I see. Things haven't been going as well as you thought they would. You had high hopes, I think, and from what I can gather, and not being so good. But yes. All right. So apparently you will be getting an offer that you can't refuse. So you should look forward to that, Roy. And as you know, anything that they tell us is true. So things will be a lot better for you. There you go. So I do like to be the harbinger of good tidings. I don't like it when they're a bit sort of iffy or a bit miserable about stuff. So so far so good this evening anyway. Oh, right, okay. And I need to give you a rose, Roy. I need to give you a rose and to say to you that people are very close to you. They gather very close. Well, of course, they would do, wouldn't they? For people who don't know, Roy is a very good medium. Yes. And your links will get stronger. There you are. Where are you now? Anyway, I'll tell you that. Anyway, Roy, because I can't see you on this little screen thing. But they say that your links are going to get stronger. So that is something, isn't it? And I see that Mary is watching me. It's nice to know that you're around, Mary, and we go back a long way. And I remember the shock that I got when I turned up for my old auntie's funeral and saw that your husband was conducting it out of the blue. But yeah, so yes, we go back a long way, Mary, and I know that you're well connected with spirit. And Shirley, yes, Shirley. Roy, I hope that's okay. And just remember that those links are going to get stronger, and you've got so many people around. And yes, and the Rose, yes, all right, I've given him that. Okay, so I don't know if anybody else would like to ask something, but just in general, I'm enjoying the experience, which is new for me. So it just shows you're never too old to learn. Do you know that Moses was over 80 when he was summoned by the Lord in the burning bush? I'm telling you the truth. He was over 80 years old. I think about that story and I take heart from that. So I know that none of you are as old as me out there, but just know that you've got plenty of time to do what you need to do in, and that's the most important thing of all. And Shirley, of course, I hope that you're well and happy to be chatting like this. I think also that I wanted to say that I do have. Do you remember we were both in? Oh yes, I do remember you were both. Yes, I remember we were both in the front of that magazine. That was weird, wasn't it? Yes, what a way to meet on the front page of a magazine. And Jules, oh, you want to know about pets? Yeah. Oh yeah, Anthony, there's still time for you then. Yeah, for sure. Jules, pets, of course. Look, animals, everything that is born to earth lives again. It continues. We all have that divine spark within us. If we didn't, nothing would be alive. All these people that say we happened by accident and we climbed out of a mud soup. It's a load of rubbish, actually. You can say what you like, but I was not descended from a blob in a mud soup. And, we were all how we are. And animals also have souls. They also have spirits. Everything has got a presence, an animation. Even our planet itself is a living planet. The universe is a living universe. And everything is motivated by that divinity, by that divine spark. So animals are also sentient beings while they're down here, but they do survive in the realms of spirit. And love is the link, love is the key, and therefore our pet animals tend to come back and visit us, whereas the animals on the farms and things, and the feral animals, well, they have their own thing, and they do survive the passing. Of course they do. If they're alive now, they'll be alive then. But our animal companions, they are joined to us by links of love, and therefore we get them back. And because language, is in spirit, is a universal language. Language is symbols that we translate ourselves into our learned language. And animals think also in symbols. And when they come through from the spirit world, people think it's a joke. It's not. You can actually understand what they're trying to get across. And the main link for that is love. And all our animals that we love and who love us are able to communicate back, provided that the medium's mind is open to that. You see, nobody can get through a fog from over there. And if a medium's mind is closed to certain things, like animal communication, the animals won't get through. And therefore it's a vicious circle, because the medium will still continue to say animals don't speak in that respect. And so they'll never hear from anybody, well, from any animal. But I have certainly heard from animals. And, oh, Rose, that's all right, darling, you have to go. No. I mean, do you know what? I think the marvellous thing about this is that I wouldn't know if anybody was here or not. Well, you have a lovely evening, darling, and God bless your son, and I'm sure that everything will be all right. Yeah, so anyway, Jules, I hope that satisfies you, at least in general. I haven't had anybody, apart from the usual menagerie that I get, that belong to everybody, that come in and decide they'll have some play and games around my feet. Dogs and cats, and they all mix up together, guinea pigs and hamsters, white mice, rabbits. There's all sorts here, and even a hedgehog that used to like being fed. So if you can pick any one of those, Jules, it's like a bargain basement here around my feet. I hope that has helped. Of course, the sad thing is when we have to say goodbye to our animals. And somebody said once, why do dogs and cats only live that amount of years? And what we say is, well, if they lived as long as human beings, how could we live with that? Because we're so devastated when we have to lose a pet, that a dog or a cat or any pet, that if they lived 50 years, we would really be, well, our lives we couldn't manage, could we, really, with the grief, but still. And the fact is that animals are able to come back to us, and it's a wonderful thing. The first thing that I ever saw, because I was frightened of seeing anything, I spent most of my childhood under a blanket at night, didn't want to see all the people that came to see me. And I was developing as a medium at Lewisham Spiritualist Church, and I was on the bus going home, and I had a big argument with the medium who was taking the circle, saying I didn't want to see anything. I wouldn't mind hearing, but I didn't want to see anything. And I was sitting on the bus, and I was looking at the wall of the bus, and I suddenly saw this whirring sort of vortex going round in front of me, and it was like a sort of a mist. And do you know what? It became my cat. I'm telling you the truth. I saw my dead cat. There she was, sitting there on the wall of that bus. And I was so thrilled. I was riveted. And then the bus started to say it was going to stop. And I was so upset I didn't want to get off the bus. And as I stood up, so it faded away. And I've never been frightened since then. So there you are. That is how my cat helped me in my development as a clairvoyant. So I hope that helps you. Oh yeah, Daz. Hi, Cuz. Yeah, hi to you. Oh, Jules, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, you've got one that's been back a few times. Oh, well, that's good, isn't it? It's smashing, isn't it? To know what we know is just wonderful. I don't know how people cope otherwise. That, their life is just one lot of crying over things and being sorry and sad that they've lost people, that they think they're finished. But, I like to say to people, look, think of it, they've gone on holiday before you. They're on holiday now, and they're waiting for you. Eventually, of course, in the fullness of time. You have to keep saying that to people. Oh, no, you're not going in a minute. And I mean, even me, I sort of think to myself, well, I hope they're not hovering around to take me too quickly, because I've got things to do. And somebody said to me the other day, I'm not sure about, I want to go in a certain way, and I said to them, well, it doesn't matter, because once you're over there, you'll be all right. You just have to keep focusing on that. But what we do here, down here, is very important. Right. Oh, Karen. Karen wants to be in my video, but I don't understand how to do it. Karen, I would need your husband to show me. That's my eldest son, by the way. He would have to show me what to do, because I've not much idea. I mean, all I can see a thing that says finish, so you'll be rid of me when I press that. Oh, Tammy, hello. Oh, still missing sitting with. Oh, hopefully will again. Oh, yes. Well, The thing is, I stopped taking circles a long time ago because I got a bit cheesed off with everything, and people just wanted to be quick mediums, and there's no such thing really. You know, people go for a couple of weeks or a few months and then think they're okay as a medium. They go and, you know, give messages to all and sundry, and maybe it's not quite right to do that. Maybe it's not quite right. I don't know. Don't like to be critical of anything or anybody. But I think it takes a while to actually learn a skill, to learn how to do things properly. But yes, so I don't know how to operate this phone, so I can't put anybody. Oh, Karen, yeah, yeah, hi, darling. But I don't know how to put you in the video, so you'll all have to remain anonymous to each other. I hope that people who have not had any experience of spiritualism or mediumship have found this a little bit interesting, and also perhaps being reassured, because I'm definitely somebody who I like to think has my feet on the ground. My feet were on the ground most of my life in a pair of skates, so I learned how to skate over thin ice and thick ice. And I used to say to people, you know when you can skate because it's when you put your skates on and you get on the ice and it ain't slippery anymore. It doesn't slip. You don't slip, you skate. So, you know, I like to think I'm a down-to-earth person, and I like to think of this way of life that I'm in, the spiritualist way of life, as something that is very normal and natural. And isn't spooky, and it isn't frightening, and all those awful television programs about the most haunted and, you know, let me frighten you some more sort of thing. You know, the only thing that frightens people about me is probably my wrinkles, which I can do nothing about. Although, as I say, a smile evens stuff up. So, I hope that you know, you've enjoyed our little chat. I hope that I brought a little bit, the skating days, yeah. And I hope that it's made you feel a little bit better and happier about things that are happening in your lives, because everybody's life has problems. It's just one of those things. Good old Shakespeare said that, you know, all the ills that flesh is heir to. You've only got to be born to get ill. And as I say, you know, nobody comes to this life laughing, and we're always crying, and if there isn't crying, they smack you to make you cry, and that's your welcome to this world. So at least we know that when we go to the next world, you're greeted with loving arms, with loving people that you know, who will see you over. So that in itself should make you feel a little bit better about your daily life. Oh, and I see that Craig Hamilton Parker is watching. Well, 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 Craig. And we go back sometime as well. The good old days. This is the trouble when you're old, you know. You can remember so many years previous. And you can remember when people weren't grey-haired, or even blonde, should I say. But I know that Craig and Jane are excellent mediums, and they do a lot of good work. So there you are. That's a plug for you, Craig. And Sue, bless you, yeah, a neighbour. Oh, hi, Craig, yeah. And Sue, I've often seen you, of course, at church on the Thursday evening. While I talk about that, of course, on Thursday nights, you know, Reverend Nick Brown at 7:30 always does an address, a spiritualist address. It's pretty good stuff, and it goes out live like this, like a live broadcast at 7:30 on the Thursday night. Nick Brown, look for Nick Brown, and get to hear something of our philosophy. And I suppose really, if somebody would like to ask something or other, they may, or I will say that's probably all that we've got the inspiration for this evening. But it's been so lovely to know that people are tuning in and having a listen to some of the odd things that I've had to say that might be helpful to them. That's the main thing. I do have a YouTube channel with loads of prayers on, and it's called Rev Lyn's Healing Prayer Channel, and it's YouTube. And again, it has all sorts of different prayers on. You can pick and choose. And of course, the benefit of all this Facebook stuff and YouTube stuff is that it's all private to you. So it's just private between us, and nobody else has to know. And it's just, you know, I can reach out. My heart goes out to your heart. So there's just that love link there. And, you know, it's just a very nice feeling. And I hope that, you know, all the people who love us, who are in the world of spirit, come close to you as they are close to me. And your people will be close to you and give you that love and give you that comfort that I get from my people. And Alan, there you are, darling. And Mary, oh. Well, I suppose, Mary, I feel more embarrassed than anything else. Oh, Kay is saying night, Lynn. Oh, well, that's about right for Kay. No, night, darling, and sleep well and sleep comforted in the knowledge that, you know, you've got your mum and dad looking after you there. That we know for sure. Not to mention a few animals, of course. And there you go. I suppose, really, everybody, I wish you the very best of nights. Whatever ails you, I hope that the Great Spirit looks after you. I know that will happen. I know that whatever religion you are of, that will sustain you if you have a faith. But what we know is that life is eternal, that we are spirit here and now, and that we are eternal, and those that we have loved and feel that we have lost have only gone on to that next stage in life that we too will enjoy once we get there in the fullness of time. So if anybody else wants to know anything, I don't mind asking them upstairs on your behalf. But if basically nobody is putting a comment, then that's fair enough. And I would like to wish you all a very, very good night and a blessed night's rest. Bye for now. Bye.